A young woman came into my branch once, early 20s, first real job, ready to apply for her first credit card. She sat down across from me full of confidence, told me she had never been late on a bill in her life, never borrowed money she could not pay back, and had been saving a portion of every paycheck since she was 17. I pulled her credit, and the screen came back with 2 words I had to explain more times than I can count. No file, not bad credit, no credit. She had done everything right her entire life, and the system had no idea she existed. I had to decline her application that day, not because she was irresponsible, because she had never given the credit bureaus anything to work with. That conversation, and hundreds like it, is exactly why I am making this video today. Welcome back to Sense and Simplicity. If you are new here, I spent 20 years in banking and finance, including 8 years as a branch manager. This channel exists to give you the inside knowledge most people never get, for free. Today we are talking about one of the most frustrating situations I saw regularly: no credit history at all, and how to build it from scratch the right way. Here is something that surprises almost everyone the first time they hear it. Having no credit history can actually be harder to work with than having bad credit. And I say that having sat on both sides of that desk for 20 years. When someone has bad credit, I can see what happened. I can see the missed payments, the collections, the timeline. I can have a real conversation about what caused it and what they have done since. There is a story there, and stories can be evaluated. When someone has no credit history at all, there is nothing to evaluate. No file means no data. No data means no score. And no score means most lenders, especially automated systems, will decline the application before a human being ever looks at it. The system is not built for people who have stayed out of it. It is built for people who have used it responsibly. So the goal is to get into the system the right way, starting today. In my years at the branch, I saw this situation come up 3 different ways, and I want you to know that whichever one applies to you, there is a clear path forward. The first was young adults, 18 to 25-year-olds who simply had never needed credit before. They used their parents' accounts, paid for things with cash or a debit card, and never opened anything in their own name. The second was people who were new to the United States. They often had excellent credit histories in their home country, sometimes decades of responsible borrowing, but American lenders could not access any of that. They started at 0 the moment they arrived, regardless of their financial track record. And the third was people who had avoided credit on purpose their entire lives. Some had religious reasons, some had watched family members get into trouble with debt and made a conscious decision to stay away from it. They were often the most financially responsible people I ever met, and the system had absolutely no way to recognize that. The fastest and most accessible way to start building credit from 0 is a secured credit card. Here is how it works. You deposit a set amount of money with the bank, typically between $200 and $500, and that deposit becomes your credit limit. You use the card like any normal credit card, making small purchases and paying the balance in full every month. The bank reports your payment activity to the 3 credit bureaus, and that activity starts building your credit file. The key word there is small purchases. Use it for 1 or 2 things you already buy every month: groceries, gas, a streaming subscription, and then pay it off completely when the statement comes. You are not trying to spend more money, you are trying to create a track record. Most secured cards will automatically review your account after 12 to 18 months of on-time payments and upgrade you to a regular unsecured card, returning your deposit. Capital One, Discover, and most major banks and credit unions offer secured cards. When choosing one, look for 2 things: no annual fee and confirmation that they report to all 3 bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. If they only report to one, you are only building credit in one place. The second method is a credit builder loan, and this one works in a way that feels a little backward at first, but makes a lot of sense once you understand it. With a traditional loan, the bank gives you money and you pay it back. A credit builder loan reverses that. You make monthly payments into a locked savings account, and at the end of the loan term, usually 12 to 24 months, you receive the full amount you paid in. The bank reports every payment to the credit bureaus along the way, building your credit history month by month. You never actually borrow anything, which makes this one of the lowest risk ways to build credit that exists. Payments typically run between $25 and $50 a month. Most credit unions offer these, and several online banks do as well. Self is one platform specifically built around this product if you want to look it up. The added bonus is that you end the process with a lump sum of savings you did not have before. It builds credit and an emergency fund at the same time. The third method is becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card account, and this one can work faster than either of the first two if you have access to it. Here is how it works. A family member or close friend who has a credit card in good standing, meaning they pay on time and keep a low balance, adds you to their account as an authorized user. The entire history of that account, including its age and payment record, can then appear on your credit report. You do not even need to use the card or have it in your possession for this to work. The important thing I always told people is to be selective about whose account you attach yourself to. If the person you are asking has high balances or a history of late payments, their habits will show up on your report too. Only attach yourself to someone whose credit behavior you would be proud to have associated with your name. And for the person adding you, they are not responsible for your spending. You can be removed from the account at any time. This is not co-signing. It is simply sharing the credit history. Before the second story, let me be direct about what not to do when building credit from zero. Don't apply for multiple credit cards at once. Every application is a hard inquiry, and multiple inquiries will hurt a thin credit file fast. Start with one secured card, use it well for 6 to 12 months, then reassess. Don't use a credit repair company promising fast results. There is no fast. There is no shortcut. Anyone promising a 700 score in 60 days is taking your money and delivering nothing you couldn't do yourself for free. And don't confuse a debit card with a credit card. A debit card pulls directly from your bank account. It reports to nobody. Using it responsibly for 20 years will not create a single entry on your credit report. A man came into my branch about 18 months after I had first met him. The first time he came in, he was a recent arrival to the United States, had been a business owner in his home country for over 15 years, impeccable financial habits, zero American credit history. I explained the secured card and credit builder loan options to him, and he left that day and did both. 18 months later, he came back. He had a 672. Not exceptional, but real, and built entirely from scratch in a year and a half. He refinanced his car at a significantly lower rate that same afternoon. That is a realistic timeline. Most people who follow the three methods I described today will see their first score appear within 3 to 6 months. A meaningful, usable score, somewhere in the 650 to 680 range, typically takes 12 to 18 months of consistent behavior. There is no way around the time, but 18 months from today, you are going to be somewhere financially. The question is whether you start now or wait. Here is your action step this week. Research secured credit cards at your current bank or credit union first. Existing customers often get better terms. Look for no annual fee and confirmation that the card reports to all three bureaus. If your bank does not offer one, search for Discover It Secured or Capital One. Platinum Secured. Both are well regarded and widely available. If you want to add a second track, look up credit builder loans at your local credit union or search self online. Starting both at the same time is perfectly fine and will build your file faster than either one alone. You do not need a perfect plan. You need a first step. If this video helped you, or if you know a young person just starting out, someone new to this country, or anyone who has avoided credit and is now wondering where to begin, share it with them. It costs nothing, and it could save them years of frustration. If you have a question about anything I covered today, drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and your question might become the next video. And if you are not subscribed yet, now is a great time to do that. Hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss a video. Everything on this channel is free, it always will be, and there is a lot more coming. I will see you in the next video.